Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Sukadeva Goswami says, O King Parikshit, when Yamadutas told the Vishnu Dutas, saying that everyone performs some kind of deeds following the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion and ignorance. Because this material world is covered by three modes of material nature, Tribhir Gunamair Bhavair. Being influenced by three modes of material nature, a living entity performs good deeds, bad deeds, and sometimes mixed deeds. And experiences the consequences of their deeds. If one does good deeds, goes to heaven and enjoys, and comes back and enjoys here again. A person does bad deeds, goes and experiences the consequences in the hell and comes back, suffers here. A person does mixed deeds, good and bad, then experiences both hell and heaven and comes back and takes birth as a human being and experiences miseries and pleasures, so-called, like that. Without doing any action, no living entity can live, can survive in this planet, Earth planet. Sure, everybody has to do. They're prone to do. They're helplessly involved in doing. They have to do and pay for the consequences. Whatever amount of karma one performs, that amount of result is rewarded. One does a kilo of good karma, given kilo of good experience, given a good kilo of bad karma, then given 1 kilo of bad experiences, like that. The experiences are had first in another world, hell or heaven, then come back and have experiences here. No injustice is done to any living entity. Person suffers for their own deeds. Sometimes you say, why I am suffering? I do no bad to others. When you eat, sometimes you bite your tongue and you feel miserable. Whom you accuse for biting your own tongue with your own teeth? Similar is the activities. You have done some kind of karma in your past life, so you are paying here even though you are doing good. You are doing good in this life, you will get next life all that result. Yamadutas further carried on. Oh, pure souls. They are telling the Devadutas, messengers of God, the messengers of Yamaraj are telling the messengers of God like that. Oh, all pure souls, we tell you that everyone is working under the influence of three modes of material nature, and thus they perform three kinds of deeds. Good deeds, bad deeds, and mixed deeds. Mixed deeds performers are called semi-religious. Consequences of which they enjoy in heaven or suffer in hell, or both experiences and come back here and experience here. Urdhve gachanti sattva madhye tishthanti rajasa jaghanya guna vrittistha adho gachanti tamasa. Bhagavad Gita. If you do good, you go to heaven. If you do bad, namaste, you go to hell and suffer there. If you are mixed, then you come back as a human being and suffer experiences or after experiencing another world. See. Yanti deva brata devan pitrun yanti pitru brata bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhya jinopi mam. Remember this. Sometimes people look like devotees. They are totally ignorant. Bookish knowledge is not sufficient for one to get liberation. Knowledge must come from inside. Knowledge from outside, reading and listening and all that, is to revive the inner knowledge. Those who worship demigods, they go to demigods' abode. Those who worship forefathers, they go there abode. Those who worship hobgoblins, what do you call that? Black magic. Those who perform magic, voodoo. They become ghosts in their next life. Very low class people do this. ISKCON, GBC, so-called big devotees, Swāmīs, holding the society of my Guru. They told that I was doing black magic on them. Spell, throwing spell. How it is possible? Can you imagine that? And they claim to be devotees and they say nobody in India can go to God, only they will go to God. I told them, no, it's not like this. 3 times more than material creation is spiritual creation, 3 times larger than here. So many people can be accommodated there. There are traditional spiritualists there, coming from millions and billions of years performing in their unbroken chain spiritual life. They are also entitled to go back to Godhead, only ISKCON can go to God, nobody else. And they said, I do voodoo, black magic. Just imagine that. Bhutani yanti means they don't have faith in words of God. Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita, those who worship evil spirit, they become ghosts. Unless you worship evil spirit, you cannot do black magic. And Brahmins, we don't do this. No Brahmin in the world does that. Nobody, especially Vedic Brahmins, not possible. By present actions, one can presume what kind of experiences that person will face and what kind of nature that will have in the future. By seeing one's present experiences, one can estimate what kind of action that person has done in the past life. So present, past and future can be presumed, can be estimated by present actions like that. And they are all forgotten. What you did in your past life, you cannot remember in this life. What you do in this life will not be remembered in the past life. For example, when you fall asleep, you dream. When you see yourself in the dream, you identify with that body, you forget to identify about this body. The body which is sleeping on the bed cannot be identified in the dream by the living entity, only identify with that dream body. And it plays around, does every activity, whatever activity they do in the dream. Once you get up, you forget identifying with that body. When you are asleep, you forget this body. When you are awake, you forget that body. So actions of that body cannot be remembered in this body, and actions of this body cannot be remembered in that body. Similarly, when you do actions in this life, you cannot remember your actions and activities in next life. what actions you did, you are paying for consequences, experiences, but you cannot remember what you did in your last life, because this is like two bodies within one life. Gross body changes, subtle body does not change. Only person can remember their own present deeds, physical, present deeds with the physical body. Nothing else can remember. A person should not be acting like a madman, crazy. Why? And not engage in devotional service is crazy. God gave us human birth to engage in devotional service. Do nothing else. Because janame, every birth you have enjoyed and suffered. Why you have to enjoy and suffer with this again in this body? Therefore, human body is said to be given to a spirit soul to engage in devotional service, engage in bhakti yoga. This is the only reason human body was rewarded. But forgetting this, engage in materialistic so-called personal aggrandizement, material sense enjoyment. Aren't you called crazy? Crazy men don't know what he is doing, what he or she is doing. I have seen a crazy person. He was a school teacher, English teacher, and he took a stick and hit and talking something meaningless and hitting his wall everywhere in the house, outside the house and talking. Don't even know that people are listening to him. See? So, person who's crazy don't care about others. I don't care what happens to me in my next life. That person is called crazy. I don't care what one thinks about me. That person is called crazy. I don't care about me. That person is called crazy. We don't want to become called crazy in the eyes of God by the Guru or by the scriptures. One must make their future life bright, perfect. And don't stay in the darkness of ignorance about God. Come up. That's why the Vedanta says, Tamasima Jyotirgamaya. Tamasima, don't stay in darkness of ignorance. Jyotirgamaya, go and walk. Stay in the light. Like that. So, Socrates said that too. Don't stay in the cave. Come out to the light. You will see the whole world and see yourself too. So that is called knowledge. Even these non-devotees, they say like that. Big scholar, famous. Person, as long as stays in darkness of ignorance, experiences suffering. Until that long. That's why Vedanta says that come to the light, learn spiritual life. Don't stay in darkness of so-called material sense gratification. My wife, my husband, my son, my children, my daughter, my grandson, my mother, my father, all this is all ignorance. Why you want to engage in that? Just come out and be yourself and learn spiritual life. What is light? What is darkness? What is ignorance? What is heaven? What is good deeds? What is bad deeds? Nobody knows except two people. The scriptures and the Guru. Only two people know that. Nobody knows this. Those who think I am doing good, what I am doing is correct, they are mad people. They are in ignorance. Those who don't care what they are doing and they don't care it's good or bad, they are mad people. That's why the scriptures say, Tad vijnanartham sa gurum evabhigachet samit pani srotriyam brahmanishtam. to know what is correct, what is wrong, to know the supreme absolute truth, one must approach humbly at the lotus feet of the spiritual master and surrender unto him. What kind? Shrotriyam. He must be 3 ways qualified, authorized. One must have unbroken chain of birth dynasty, Brahmin dynasty. Number 2, must be learned in the scriptures, Vedic scriptures. Number 3, he must be totally surrendered and initiated in unbroken chain of disciplic success and Brahmanistam, thoroughly surrendered to the Lord. See, don't make hoax or mockery of spiritual life like that. Janana brahmano gayo sanskara dvija uchyate vidyaya yadi viprattam tribhir trayo gunor bhak. 3 required unbroken chain of Brahmin dynasty connected to God, and sanskar must be there, thread ceremony. In the age of 9 is given to the Brahmins. This is thread. We know what is this thread. We're supposed to know. We're taught. We learnt all this. Everything we must know. Vedas must know. And then must be initiated in an unbroken chain of disciplic succession, thoroughly surrendered to the Supreme. Brahmanistam. Tadvidhi pranipat, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says. Brahmanistam, here. This is Vedanta. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena seve. Bhagavatam also says, Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jigyasu sirayottamam. Sir, madam, you don't know what is good for you. You don't know what is bad for you. Only scriptures and guru know. Listen. Come down. Be humble. Be available. We will teach you. Free. I have no motivation. I don't desire anything from anybody. I have to engage them in the service. I have to maintain the temple and building for them so they can perform devotional service, live there and eat. For that requires some maintenance, maybe. But for me, I don't need anything. Totally. Life of a devotee exists in this world just for welfare of others, not for self-welfare. Like that. So Yamdutas carried on, saying that the living entity living within the body uses 5 working senses: the hands, the legs, the mouth, genital and rectum. Using 5 knowledge acquiring senses: the eyes, the ears, the tongue, the nose, and the skin, touch. And uses 5 sense objects: the smell, the sight, the sound, the taste, and the touch. Wants to touch something, wants to touch something soft or nice, something, listen, nice sound vibration, see nice sights, nice smell as nicely, taste very good food, like that. And then uses the mind to use this. See? And who is doing it? The self. So, the soul uses 16 items. 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 sense objects, and the mind to acquire karma. You cannot acquire karma without using these 16 items. Now, karma is done with this body. How I have to suffer in the next body? Now, because using these 16 items, the living entity creates a subtle body. See? Creates a subtle body. subtle body is consisting of mind, intelligence and ego. So, when did subtle body came to exist? There is no scriptural evidence. When did living entity come to exist in this planet? No time. Nobody said. Nowhere it is stated. But how long it will stay? That is stated. When one becomes spiritually serious, one acquires a proper guru and follows the path of spiritual life correctly, not make a show. Just imagine. I told you an example just now. GBC, Swāmī, Guru. They are saying that I do black magic. Can you imagine how shameless they are? So not that kind of people. The scriptures don't recommend this kind of. Once you become serious, sincere devotee, then this subtle body is relinquished by the spirit. That's how you go back to Godhead. Otherwise, your karma takes that subtle body to enjoy or suffer and come back again to this world to occupy a physical body again. When person does good karma, goes to heaven and enjoy and comes back here as a human being, and does bad karma, goes to hell and suffer there and come back here, sometimes become human being, but mostly lower living entities. When person comes to this planet, suffers in anxiety. Everybody has some kind of anxiety. We go and ask, how are you? Oh, I'm doing fine, but he's not doing fine, he or she. Something is going on. Nobody can live without that. Like that. The living entity always remains under the influence of three modes of material nature and helplessly works. Helplessly. They need maintenance, so go out work. Those who are in knowledge, sometimes they have to act helplessly, even though undesired, not want to engage, do that activity, end up doing activity. So everybody is helpless. The living entity creates their own karma and sinks it inside the quicksand of repetition of birth and death. Just like a what? Cocoon eats the leaves of a silk tree and uses its saliva and covers himself with the saliva. Very difficult to get out. Sometimes it goes out, but not very difficult to get out from that. Similar is the living entity. Taking birth in this world and does all kinds of karma and gets tied by the karma in the birth and death. And is creation of the living entity, just as the saliva is creation of the cocoon. Creation, karma, is the cocoon's saliva, like karma, which is tying the spirit inside the repetition of birth and death, from which is very difficult to come out. Only sometimes somebody comes out by being serious and devotional. Why not be serious? Why you waste your human life? Take to spiritual life and be serious and sincere, nice. Pray to God to give you a perfect guru who can take you back to Godhead. Daily pray. And if you have a perfect guru, you also should pray that guru don't kick you out. Or don't act, pray to God so you don't act in such a way that guru kicks you out. That your activities kick you out. Pray every day. Every day prayers are required. The living entity, after taking birth, becomes controlled by lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, arrogancy, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mad, matsarya. Mada means arrogance. I am this, like that. One who has material body cannot live without doing something. Lord Kṛṣṇa spoke in Bhagavad Gita, that because once you take birth in this world, you are covered or influenced or under control of three modes of material nature of goodness, passion and ignorance. Even though not desires to do some deeds want to do, but end up doing it, is because of three modes. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam says these spoken, see how even Yamadutas, the messengers of Yamaraj, they are so learned. They are speaking this. All this is spoken by them. They say, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krut karyate hyasak karma gunai swabhavike balat. Same verse is little differently, only 1% different, 10% different, spoken by Lord Kṛṣṇa in the Bhagavad Gita, the same thing. 2 plus 2 are 4 differently in different language, differently spoken by the different audience, but 2 and 2 are 4 everywhere. Same way, Bhagavatam says same thing as spoken in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa speaks same thing as is written in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So Kṛṣṇa also says the same verse, little different. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatatichtatya karma krut karyate hyavasak karma sarva prakriti jair gunair. Bhagavad Gita. This is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam I spoke to you first. Spoken by Yamadutas to Vishnudutas. Vishnudutas are quietly listening. They will speak later on, you see. Being influenced by three modes of material nature, even though not want to do something, ends up doing it because they are under the control of three modes. And these actions make one's nature, one's habit, inclination, intuition. Our past deeds made the present intuition, nature, habit, desire fill the way we want to do things. And this action will do for next life. The habit comes from past deeds. And as per the swabhava or inclination, nature, one gets that kind of karma and experiences the consequences. At the time of death, only material physical body changes, subtle body remains as it is, does not change. And next body it occupies as per its karma. The soul does not have any gender. As per karma, a gender is provided to the living entity. Sometimes it takes birth as a female, sometimes take birth as a male. The soul, it don't have gender, but it identifies with the gender body because of karma. They've done such a kind of karma, you take birth as a male and then claim yourself to be father, brother, son, grandfather, something like that, or sir. And soul did such kind of karma, then you take birth as a female, then claim yourself to your mother, sister, daughter, granddaughter, or grandmother, like that. And then identify with that particular body in that way and act as per male or female body applied to you as per your karma. As long as living entity has connection with this material world and has a particular kind of body, the spirit has to act awkwardly because the body is sometimes given males, sometimes females. So many desires, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, these items are there. These are enemies. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, avarice, arrogance, envy, all of that is, these are enemies inside. We got to kick them out. Hari ko taju, na guru hi bisaru. Hari ke sama, guru ko na niharu. I have written a song in our song book. Very nice. You read it, the translation, if you cannot sing it. I can forget God. I will reject if God comes. I will not forget Guru. I will not reject him. I will catch. If I am given choice out of these two, God and Guru, whom do I should embrace? Is Guru I will do, because God gave me enemies to live inside, lust, anger, greed and arrogancy and envy and illusion. And Guru showed me the path how to relinquish, get them out, these enemies from within. That's why Guru is the better God, like that. But who understands? I remember this. My Guru was in Vrindavan, and he selected Hansadutta to be president in place of Āchārya. There was a guy from New Zealand, he became president, he did not do management right, so Hansadutta was replaced. Hansadutta had bad time in Germany, so he was replaced. Gopal Kṛṣṇa was the GVC, Indian body. He had a white wife and he ate cows. He was called by Prabhupāda to come. He did not come. He flew from Bombay to Delhi, but he don't want to come to Vrindavan. Just imagine. And we are saying, Prabhupada now, because he's dead, Prabhupada chastises, so what? Guru is chastising to correct. I chastise my disciples. If they misunderstand, namaste. So, Gopal Kṛṣṇa did not come till evening. Morning, next day he did not come. He's in Delhi, don't want to come. Prabhupada called again, come, don't want to come. So Prabhupada sent Hansadutta, who took me. That's how I found out. I went with Hansadutta, taxi. Please come, sir. Prabhupada wants to see you. No problem what you think about him. When Prabhupada is alive, you tease him that much. Indian body, how much Western body must have taunted him. I have experience with my disciples here in America. And Prabhupada is dead, now saying Prabhupada. So there are two kinds of disciples come to Guru. One is a disciple, he or she don't want to live without Guru, he wants to serve Guru physically. He wants to please Guru in every possible way, physical existence, because once Guru is dead, whom they will serve is a picture. And there are second category of disciple, they don't like to see Guru, they pray to God, he dies so nobody is there to chastise. He quickly dies so we can worship his deity. We worship his photo, picture, called Prabhupada. When he was alive, made him cry. I have seen one time in Vrindavan. That kind of disciple is not good. We don't become this kind of disciples. We must become real disciples. We get mercy. Because he is the person who kicks out 5 enemies from me. Lust, anger, greed, arrogancy, envy. Kicking out. Guru helps kick out. And God gave it. He is acting against the will of God and kicking these things out from within. How great is Guru? We must serve Guru and please him the best possible. Guru should be tasmat sarvopayena Guru meva prasidayet. In every circumstance, at every time, by every means, Guru should be kept pleased. Should not taunt Guru, tease Guru. Guru should not be teased. disobey Guru, where is the solution? Guru rushte, not possible, finished. Therefore, one must take advantage of a human birth and be Krishna conscious, be sincere. If you become artificially sincere, after some time being artificially sincere, you will become really sincere. Don't think you are artificially sincere now. Even if you are artificially sincere, remain as it is and develop. Slowly you will become really sincere, real devotees. Thank you very much.